hop out, valet, walk out. All these bins I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
A fight for the right to be number one. It's The Coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Rivers now to throw on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Justin Houston in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Rivers to throw it. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be second and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. Now bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing, Rivers. And the Chiefs are going to get him. D. Ford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for?
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Justin Houston in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
I don't know about you, but if I'm the offensive line coach right now, I'm having an absolute fit. This team that they're going against has 3 sacks, yet they rank dead last in the league in sacks coming into this game.
Maybe overlooked them a little bit?
Could be. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if they've just gotten fortunate along the way. I have no real great answer for it, but we're seeing something you don't often see.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 3rd down, it's Potter. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Philip Dorsett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a 1st quarter lead. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Los Angeles. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. second down. They'll run with Gordon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready.
On third down, Rivers. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the stick.
And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Set. Read 80. 80 high.
They go play action here on first down. Funchess with a catch over the middle. Touchdown, LA! Devin Funchess, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now here comes Kansas City. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he loses the football a second time. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And they'll run it here. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Right back to him on first down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. Wiggles free, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joey Bosa. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times. So out come the Chargers. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So 1:55 to go in the 1st half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And right side, Henry's got it. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the bunker and picked up the 1st down.
And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This is Gordon on the dump off. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Again, it's Rivers. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
It's interesting how we label routes. You know, some people might call this a hitch. For me, a hitch is a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, about 1 to 3 yards deep. A lot of people might call this a dig route, going this deep on a 3rd and 7 to pick up the 1st down. Others just call it a stick route. Get to the right point, stick in that spot, and let them hit you with a pass. No matter what, they did pick up the 1st down.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusion.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. And even 60 yards. They fake the give. Now Mahomes steps away. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Mahomes to throw on second down. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this and we'll have to wait and see. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Chargers in good field position to start out, 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Massey. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's Jaleel Adai who brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go play fake. Mahomes. On the crossing route, complete. It's Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing again. Mason. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments, and right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. Now Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
they're
third
all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing is Mahomes on third. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense. Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Time for a break. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Now here's Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Philip Dorsett, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Rivers. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Rivers to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And this one complete right side to Funchess. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Here's Rivers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Chiefs on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Well, as always, partner.